The movie starts in the year 1990, showing two siblings, Michelle and Chris. Chris is exceptionally intelligent and, at a young age, is already taking college entrance exams. After finishing their exams, Michelle and Chris step outside, but an army officer stopped them, because Chris is wearing a shirt featuring Cosmo Robot, signaling his fondness for robots. At this time, tensions are high between humans and robots. Now the story introduces Ethan, a scientist who despises robots. Years earlier, robots were created to assist humans, but when they malfunctioned, humans discarded them without hesitation. After enduring years of mistreatment, the robots formed an alliance led by Peanut to demand rights and respect. Humans retaliated, sparking a war. During the conflict, robots gain the upper hand because they never tire. A military officer named Evans reports to his superiors that humans are on the verge of defeat. Just as hope fades, Ethan develops groundbreaking technology, neurocaster robots, which humans can control using brain-linked helmets. Equipped with these helmets, humans command the tireless neurocaster robots to fight. Within weeks, this innovation turns the tide, securing humanity's victory over the Robot Alliance. Major Mark received an award for eliminating the highest number of robots during the war. After humanity's victory, a contract was established, mandating that all robots be imprisoned in a secured facility. As time passed, scientist Ethan advanced his neurocaster technology, splitting the human mind into two parts. This upgrade allowed people to control two neurocaster robots simultaneously, drastically improving efficiency. The innovation became wildly popular, and soon the world embraced this technology. The story then jumps to 1994, where Michelle, now our protagonist, lives with her foster father. At school, all students learn using neuro helmets, except Michelle. She refuses to rely on technology, preferring her natural human state. Her attitude lands her in the principal's office, where she's warned, "If you don't comply with school rules, I'll have to report this to your mother." Michelle reveals her family died in an accident, silencing the principal. Sympathetic but firm, the principal suggests neurotherapy to ease her grief, but Michelle rejects it. She despises artificial solutions. In a flashback, we see the tragic accident. A deer darted onto the road, and in swerving to save it, their car crashed, claiming her family's lives. After the accident, Michelle's condition was critical. She regained consciousness in the hospital, where she saw a glasses-wearing doctor standing over her. The sight of him made her awake. As she opened her eyes, she sensed an intruder in her house. Terrified, she hid under the bed. Moments later, a Cosmo robot entered her room, lifted the bed, and discovered her. When Michelle threatened to destroy it, the robot gestured toward its head, urging her to connect a wire. Hesitantly, she complied. Then Robot spoke, "I am your brother." Before it could explain more, Michelle's foster father burst in and attacked the robot. Keeping robots was illegal after all. He ordered Michelle to expel the robot immediately, but she defiantly blamed his carelessness for the breach. Enraged, he struck her. The robot, now furious, retaliated and knocked the man unconscious. As he lay dazed, Michelle prevented him from calling the police by rendering him unconscious herself. She then fled with the Cosmo robot. Once they were safely away, Michelle stopped and demanded answers. "Why did you claim to be my brother? Is his consciousness inside you?" The robot confirmed her suspicion. Overwhelmed, she asked, "Then where is his body?" The robot explained that the glasses-wearing doctor, the same one who had declared her brother dead, knew the truth. Michelle understood that the doctor had lied. Michelle unfolds a map, and the Cosmo robot points to a location, explaining, "The doctor who knows about Christopher is hidden deep inside the robot's facility." Determined, they set off for the site. Along the way, the robot observes the deteriorating state of humanity. Humans have become addicted to neurotech helmets, relying on them obsessively. The sight saddens the Cosmo robot. At a checkpoint, they encounter Evans, the same military officer who once reported humanity's near defeat in the war. Now he illegally traffics guns. He hands a weapon to a neurocaster robot, but the robot refuses payment and instead threatens Evans. Before it can act, Evans' own illegally kept robot ambushes and disables the neurocaster. Seizing the opportunity, Michelle and her Cosmo robot sneak onto Evans' truck as he loads the deactivated neurocaster. They know Evans is headed into the robot facility, their destination. Meanwhile, Michelle's foster father regains consciousness and alerts the police. Michelle is harboring a Cosmo robot. In response, the government enlists Major Mark, the infamous robot exterminator, to hunt them down. Now Mark is on their trail. Evans parked the truck at his house, which was connected to the robot facility. As he entered, Michelle and the Cosmo robot slipped out from the truck. But Evans heard them. He immediately aimed his gun at them. Michelle explained their purpose. "We only want to enter the facility. That's why we hid in your truck. We know you trade goods inside." Evans warned, "It's too dangerous. If that's your plan, leave now." Before the discussion could continue, he suddenly sensed another presence. Urging the robots to hide, he turned to face Mark's neurocaster robot, which demanded, "Hand over the fugitives." "I know Michelle is aiding a robot." Evans lied, "She's my sister. There are no robots here." Mark saw through the deception and attacked. Enraged, both robots retaliated, giving Michelle an opening to flip the facility's power switches. In the chaos, all four escaped deeper into the facility. However, their exit route, the secret passage Evans used, was now destroyed. Furious and trapped, Evans blamed Michelle. There Tim, Evans's robot, discovered a massive utility robot and a nearby van. Tim takes the larger robot's controls. As they prepared to flee, Michelle pleaded, "Wait. A doctor lives here, he knows another way out. Help us and you'll escape too." Reluctantly, Evans agreed. They piled into the van as the giant robot carried it. Michelle turned to Evans and asked, "Where did you get this robot?" Evans replied solemnly, "During the war. I was fighting robots when both my legs were severely injured. This robot saved my life. That's why I'm alive today. I owe it everything." He patted the robot's metal frame. "Keeping robots is illegal, so we've both been living in hiding." Meanwhile, scientist Ethan sat in his office, watching his neurocaster's memory deteriorate. Furious, he stormed into his lab and confronted the doctor. "Why is our technology failing?" The doctor hesitated before answering. "Christopher, handsome part of his consciousness into a robot and escaped. That's what's disrupting our entire neurotech system." Ethan's face darkened. "Find that robot immediately," he ordered. "Before anyone else discovers this. If word gets out, my company is finished." Desperate, Ethan contacted Major Mark. "One of my prototype robots has escaped, the one sustaining our entire neurotech network. Capture it and name your reward." Mark said, "I'm already hunting that robot, and the girl Michelle who's helping it." "Good," Ethan said coldly. "Throw the girl in prison. Just bring me that robot." After the scene cuts, we are shown Michelle and the others who were standing in a strange place. Suddenly, someone attacked them by throwing a fridge at them and Tim's big robot got injured. Within a short while, many robots arrived and captured them, taking them to Dr. Peanut, who was the leader of all of them. Michelle was surprised to see that he was still alive. The leader asked, "What is your purpose for coming here?" "Humans often come here to kill us." Michelle replied, "I have not come to kill you or harm anyone. I have come only to find a doctor who lives inside this facility." Dr. Peanut said, "Yes, there is a safe house far from here. He lives there." Dr. Peanut asked Michelle, "Why do you want to find that doctor?" She explained, "I am actually trying to find my brother whose consciousness is inside this Cosmo robot. I have received news that my brother's body is with Ethan Company." Dr. Peanut also grew worried. What would they do in their facility by keeping a child? Michelle did not have an answer to this. It is shown that Michelle and Evans were now ready to go ahead. Then, Dr. Peanut also went along with some of his military robots to help them. These people left in a car shaped like a peanut. In the meantime, Mark also reached this facility and saw them leaving. When they reached their destination, they were surrounded by many scavengers. Before they could harm them, a song started playing and a secret door opened, through which these people slipped inside and reached Dr. Keon, the person Michelle had come to find. Michelle asked him, "Where is my brother? You said that he was dead. Why did you lie to me?" Dr. Keon told her, "Your brother is in Ethan's lab." Michelle asked, "Why? And for what purpose?" Then Dr. Keon explained, 4 years ago humans were losing the war. During all this, you and Chris had an accident. When we did Chris's MRI, we discovered that he is a genius. He has some extraordinary power in his brain, which was gifted to him by God. These powers became our support. It was only with Chris's brain power that we were able to develop neurotech. Then Dr. Keon showed her the whole story in his robotic brain. Chris was in a coma, and his brain was being used while his body remained inactive. Dr. Keon said, "If we hadn't kept him alive artificially that day and hadn't created neurotech, Chris would have died." Michelle responded, "Then you should have let him die, not used him in such a wrong way." Dr. Keon replied, "He wasn't completely dead, he was alive inside. One day he tried to hold my hand. When I realized that he was conscious within, I tried to shut down the neurotech program. But Ethan didn't agree and he fired me from the company. Then Dr. Keon added, I had connected his brain to this robot, which is why you're standing in front of me today. Michelle asked, what was the reason for doing this? Then he said, I wanted Chris to transfer his consciousness into this robot, come with the robots and make a life and family. Hearing this, Michelle started crying and said, my brother was mine. I am his family. Why did he need robots? And during this time, it was shown that Mark had also reached the facility. Seeing this, Peanut got scared. Mark entered the facility after causing an explosion. Taking advantage of the darkness, all these people started attacking him, but his neurocaster robot was very strong, none of their attacks had any effect on him. Mark had brought a whole army with him who started fighting with these robots. The neurocaster robots were killing the old robots rapidly. In this situation, the doctor told Michelle to take the robot and escape from there. But before Michelle could run away, Mark's eyes fell on her, and Mark grabbed the robot's hand from behind and flew away with it. There was a lot of destruction there, even Peanut was completely injured. When these people came back to the robot's facility, they saw that the neurocaster robots had killed all the robots there. Even if some robots were left, they were in very bad condition. On the other side, Mark reached Ethan with that robot. Seeing it, Ethan took a breath and said to the robot, Chris, you have troubled me a lot. Don't do this again. The doctors held the robot and put it in a machine, transferring all the consciousness back into Chris's body. Mark stood there, shocked to see how badly Ethan was using a child. Ethan said that because of this child, he had been able to save all of humanity by creating neurotechnology. Here we see that Michelle was very sad. Then Evan came to her and encouraged her, saying, I am with you. We will save Chris and expose Ethan's truth to everyone. Now their first mission was to get out of the facility. For this, they came to a doctor's robot who knew a way out. This robot had a lot of information. It told Michelle, the entire neurotech system runs on your brother's brain. If your brother regains consciousness, if he comes to his senses, then the whole neurotech system will shut down. Hearing this, Michelle said, this is a good thing. But Peanut didn't want it. Peanut said, we didn't want war earlier, we wanted respect and peace before, and we want the same now. Then Michelle said to him, that's exactly what we're going to get. We'll try and fight one more time. Peanut's other robots understood Michelle's point. Together they convinced Peanut and all of them joined the mission. They reached the city where Ethan's lab was located. The group had brought a very large robot with them which could lift cars like toys and attack the lab. Ethan, watching from inside, saw everything. He ordered Mark to eliminate all of them with his army's help. Evans was controlling the large robot when several advanced neurocaster robots appeared before him. They tried to damage his robot and eventually succeeded in destroying it. Just before Evans could be killed in the explosion, he managed to jump out of the robot. Meanwhile, it was shown that Peanut had arrived, controlling another massive robot. All the other cosmic robots also joined the battle against the neurocaster robots. When everyone's attention was on the robots, Michelle took advantage and entered the lab. Using her robot, she scared all the scientists and made them run away. After this, she put on a neuro helmet that was connected to her brother. Meanwhile, Ethan arrived wearing a massive neurocast suit. With its help, he began creating havoc and causing explosions. Mark confronted Peanut while eliminating everyone in his path. Pointing a gun at Peanut, Mark demanded, why are you fighting this war now? Peanut replied, there is nothing greater than freedom. Mark asked, not even death? Peanut answered firmly, no. If my companions gain freedom through my death, then this death is good for me. Hearing these words, Mark was impressed. He told Peanut, you have more humanity in you than most humans. Today I met someone with less feeling than a robot. He was referring to Ethan, who had mercilessly used a child just to make his product successful. After the scene cuts, we see Michelle, who has now connected with her brother using the neurocaster helmet. Inside this world, both of them were in their house. Michelle said to Chris, get up. We have to leave here. Chris replied, no, I can't go. I've seen this world from inside and I know Ethan has ruined it by using me. It's impossible for me to leave, because I'm dead. These people have kept my brain alive artificially. This entire neurotech runs on my brain alone. Michelle asked, what do you want then? Chris explained, if my brain stays active longer, Ethan will destroy the world completely using it. It's better if you kill me and deactivate my brain. That way neurotech stops working, and all this destruction ends. Michelle wasn't ready for this. Then Chris said, remember how you used to tell me I could change the world? Help me change it now. As they hugged, the scene shifted to the real world. There, Michelle stepped forward and switched off all of Chris's machines. Chris died. Neurotech was destroyed. The moment Neurotech stopped, all the Neurocaster robots froze and collapsed. The war was over. Evans had won. But when Evans saw his loyal robot, Tim, badly damaged and lifeless, he broke down. His happiness turned to sorrow. Then he noticed something. Inside Tim's wreckage was a smaller version of the robot, the core that had kept the giant machine alive. Seeing this, Evans felt relief. Now, after retrieving his robot, Evans went inside to find Michelle. They discovered that all Neurotech helmets worldwide had stopped working. This news spread across the world and Michelle was interviewed. During the broadcast, Michelle revealed the full truth. Ethan was powering this neurotechnology by exploiting a child. Because of this revelation, Ethan was imprisoned. At the story's conclusion, in the post-credits scene, a graveyard of deactivated robots is shown, including the Cosmo unit. Suddenly, the Cosmo robot reactivates with a message. Chris's consciousness still survives within it. The movie ends here. Thanks for watching.